Hi, good evening. What is your name? And I assume the name is Shubham. So, Shubham, can you have your parents around for the demo session? Okay. I'm assuming he'll take a minute or so to call his parents. Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. My name is Raghav Mishra, and I've done my graduation from IIT Madras. And I have over 9 years of teaching experience in Mumbai, where I've trained many students for JEE Mains and JEE Advanced. And a couple of my students also got the gold medal at International Physics Olympiad. So that's my background. I would want to know exactly why Shubham has contacted Vedantu, as in what is the end goal of Shubham that you have in mind. So you want to revise a few topics. Okay. So I'm assuming that the parent wants his child to try Vedantu and maybe learn a couple of topics along the way. So I would give him a briefing about the syllabus, which is basically, sir, it consists of about 20 lessons, 20 chapters, not lessons really. And each lesson is about 20 to 25 hours long. That is how they are graded, and that is usually the standard. Uh, so if Shubham has to cover up a topic like simple harmonic motion in which Shubham has a doubt, it would need about 20 to 25 hours. And it will be taught in 2 hour classes, about 10 sessions. And the student at the end of his lessons will be capable of solving at least JEE main level problems in simple harmonic motion. In addition to that, after every class, uh, Shubham will be getting a quiz, uh, which will help me or the teacher involved keep track of Shubham's performance in the class. And also, if I take the class, I'll be sharing notes of all the presentations that I show him, so he can take down notes of, if the parent asks that the child does not have to take any notes down. So the answer to that would be he can take down notes. He, in fact, is advised to take down notes because it helps students keep concentration levels at their best. But it would be justified if he takes notes of what he understands. Apart from that, whatever is shown and written in the class will be shared with Shubham after every class. And I hope, sir, that uh, I've answered all your questions. If you have any other questions, please go ahead ask. Otherwise, we can start the demo with Shubham. You can check all the pricing information, assuming the parent asks about pricing and stuff. You can check it with the marketing team and they'll be in touch with you. I don't know what the pricing is. Uh, and The demo is free. If the parent asks for charges of demo, the demo lecture is for free. And I hope I've answered all your questions. All right, so we'll get started. Give me a second, sir. Right. So let's get started with the topic of simple harmonic motion. in which we initially discussed the differences between oscillatory and periodic motion. So, oscillatory motion and periodic motion are two different ideas. Periodic motion tends to repeat themselves. It After a specific time interval, it repeats itself. For example, if you look at this ball, it can repeat itself rectilinearly, meaning repeat itself in a straight line, go down, go up, and then go down, go up. Now, because it is moving along a straight line, we say that it is rectilinear in nature. The repetitive motion can also be circular. For instance, like this, the ball is repeating its path, but now it is going around a circular path. So this is a repetitive circular motion, or we can say it is a periodic circular motion. The periodic motion can be rather random too. It can also be curvilinear in nature. Curvilinear is basically any path but repetitive, right? So you can see that the path being traced with the by the ball is something consisting of three loops, right? And the ball is repeating its path, right? So the ball is undergoing periodic motion. So that is periodic motion. It has a certain time interval associated with it. And in that time interval, the particle or the body repeats its motion. Now, the time interval itself is called the time period, right? The time to complete one repetition. And the number of repetitions completed in 1 second is called the frequency of repetition, right? It happens to be 1 by t, because if t seconds take for one repetition, then in 1 second we will have 1 by t repetitions. So that is periodic motion. It has a certain time period and a frequency associated with it. On the other hand, oscillatory motion is slightly different from periodic motion. It's a to and fro motion, right? Meaning it cannot go around curved paths. It has to be straight. Almost straight also works. It has to be to and fro. It goes back and then forth and then back and then forth. Like the spring over here. It's going back and then it's basically to and fro, but not really, circular motion will not be considered oscillatory in that sense, right? The two extremes, right? This is the right extreme and this is the left extreme. The extreme to which the body moves, these are called the two extremes of the to and fro path. They're called the extreme positions. And in between these two extreme positions, right? If you follow the mouse pointer, this is the left extreme position, this is the right extreme position. In between, somewhere over here, right? Somewhere over here is going to be the so-called mean position, which is also the equilibrium position. For instance, if I just pause it here, right? At this position, when the object is at the mean position M, the spring happens to be in natural length, right? And natural length implies what? Natural length basically implies that the force on the particle, force on this cylindrical block is zero. And zero net force basically implies that the cylindrical block is in equilibrium. If you follow the mouse pointer, let me replace it by a laser pointer, right? The mean position is the point where the spring length is natural, and that means the net force is zero. And that means the particle or the cylindrical block is in equilibrium, right? So oscillatory motions, unlike periodic motion, has a position where the particle is experiencing zero net force. In other words, the particle is in equilibrium. Now, when you displace this particle from the main position, for instance, over here, or let's say over here, right? It is experiencing uh, it is experiencing a leftward force. Let me draw it in black. It is experiencing a leftward force towards the main position, right? The displacement is towards right. The particle has been displaced towards right from the main position. So this is your displacement. Let me mark it as X. And this is your restoring force. Let me call it as F1. Right. Okay. So let me call it as Fs. Okay. So the particle is experiencing a restoring force towards left, towards the mean position, continuously towards the mean position. This force is called the restoring force, right? Now you can see more clearly in this diagram. When the part, this is the equilibrium, the main position, the orange position, right? When the particle is to the left of the main position, or let me take it to the left. When the particle is positioned leftwards, position is marked in blue. From the equilibrium position, the particle is towards left. So the restoring force in red, the spring is compressed. So the restoring force is towards right. The spring is pushing the block to the right. And when the particle is displaced rightwards from the equilibrium orange mean position, this is the mean position, particle is displaced towards right. The spring is pulling the block back towards the main position, and so the restoring force will be towards left. So this is how it is. We can how oscillatory motion can be described. Now, one thing to note here is that the restoring force is always opposite the direction of position. When the position is towards left, restoring force is towards right. And when the position is towards right, restoring force is towards left. So like I promised, there will be a quiz at the end of the topic. So we'll go ahead with the quiz. And answering the quiz is easy. Let me just show you. So this is the simple question that I have posed. Which of the following is not a property of harmonic motion? And we can start this quiz by just clicking on multiple choice. And the quiz has started. Joining is really easy. All you have to do is scan this QR code from your phone's camera, which I'll do right now. And that QR code takes us to the takes the user, that is the student, to the okay, the music is just starting. Uh, it takes us to the answering page. We'll go there and mark ourselves as Raghav. Six two six nine 6266. So from the phone, I'll mark the answer as D. The answer has been marked as D and submit. So I get one option as one marking as D, which is the right answer. Now, once I have all the submissions in the class, I can close the submission and close this test too. And we can always go back and check, right? So one person has marked it correctly. If I Click on that. We can award stars, and stars have a history, so we can keep track of the students' performance in various topics. And if there are multiple students, then we can keep track of all of them at the same time by awarding these stars. So I'll award 1 star to Raghav because he marked the correct answer. That's the quiz. Uh, so Shubham, I'll just stop share. How was the class? I hope it was both informational and it made you think. Uh, and I hope it was interactive. Right. So the child has all kinds of good feedback. Uh, Shubham, I would want your parents, if they're not there already, I want them back. He takes a couple of minutes to get his parents. So, uh, what would be your objective, sir? I'm talking to the father right now. What would be your objective? Uh, yeah, you can have Shubham enroll in a physical coaching. That is great, but the amount of attention that a child gets in a class of 100, 200 sometimes is very limited. And especially if it's an offline batch, or sorry, an online batch, uh, yeah, no, he's also cribbing about lack of attention because that is the common complaint across all coaching institutes. So Vedantu provides one-to-one classes in which the child and the teacher are sitting together in the meeting, and that's about it. And the child gets extremely personalized guidance and mentoring, and marks and stars in the class help us keep real good track of how Shubham has been performing across different topics. And yeah, so you agree that this is a good approach? Yes. I'm assuming the parent is happy. So we can divert all the discussion of per hour charges as per company policy. Either I'll explain it to them or I'll divert them to the marketing team. And I hope I have understood all your requirements, sir. And if you have any other questions, please go ahead, ask. And I hope you are interested to, yeah, you are. Okay. So parent is interested. And this would be the time to bid my farewell, sir. And after the session gets over, the platform will ask you for feedback. And it is very important for me to know how you did like your session. And I would request, not require, I would request you to be as candid as possible. And I'm open to your honest feedback because that will help me address my own gaps and help me perform better in my job duties. Uh, Thank you.